Students, the next problem we have is to do with the status of women. What do you mean by status of women? Let's look at it. The achievements of women in the pre-independent India. You recognize her? Yes, Jhansi ki Rani, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Kitturu Rani Chennamma, Annie Besant, Kasturba Gandhi, Savitribai Phule, Sarojini Naidu. These are some of the memorable women freedom fighters. Now, women are present in all walks of life, be it medical, teaching, like me, pilot, police, yet it needs a lot of improvement. It has remained low. Why? Because of the social customs. As discussed, India is a patriarchal society. If a family had 2 children, one male and one female, and they had to choose between educating only the girl or only the boy would still get the preference. So, the status of women has remained low due to social customs, poverty and illiteracy. So, the progress of the country has been affected. What has the government done? They have started Women and Child Development Department in order to only focus on women's education and status. What are the measures taken? They seek to improve the status of the woman, the health of the woman and education. Many programs have been implemented for improving these. Also, there are programs implemented to curb child marriage system, dowry. There's a Dowry Prohibition Act so that the act of dowry doesn't take place. Compulsory education, whether you're a boy or a girl, there is compulsory education from 6 to 14 years of age, which is a fundamental right. The government of Karnataka especially has implemented Stree Shakti program. Which program? Stree Shakti program, through which self-help groups of women are formed and fostered as a means of social progress. What are self-help groups? What happens in a self-help groups? All of this we have discussed in the chapter of development. Various cooperative formations like Stree Shakti self-help groups, associations of self-help groups have been formed. Women's commissions have also been established at what all levels? National level, at state level, to address the issues of women. They have also been given reservation. Where have they been given reservation? In the state and national legislative bodies. The bodies that make laws, like at the local level, at the panchayat level, 33% of the seats are reserved only for women candidates, to encourage them to participate in the election and to take up roles of responsibility. Women reservation has already been provided at local bodies. It's also provided in government recruitment. In India, Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister for a long time. Ms. Pratibha Patil was also the President of India. Note students, even in this country, a much older democracy, United States of America, not once the President has been a woman. But for a young democracy like India, we have achieved both a Prime Minister and a President who has been a woman. It's a pride moment for our country. Many women have performed various roles as ambassadors. What do you mean as ambassadors? So, in the chapter Indian Foreign Policy, we discuss how India has relationship with so many countries. Now, the person who maintains the relationship is called an ambassador. There will be a officer responsible only to maintain relationship between India and USA, India and Russia. So, they are called the Indian ambassador to United States of America, Indian ambassador to Russia. If you as students want to become ambassadors of India for another country, you all should give the civil services exam and become Indian Foreign Service officers. It's a very, very good post to serve in. Even there are a lot of women who have performed the role of an ambassador, governor, ministers, chief ministers, and many have influential positions and they have performed very well. The success of these women has been very inspirational for all women across India. That comes to the end of the status of women. Now we come towards the last two problems of the chapter, terrorism being one among them. What is terrorism? Does it have another name? Yes, it does. It is also called as extremism. What is the meaning? It's a method of putting pressure on government. It's like telling the government, I have this wish, but if you don't fulfill it, I will bomb so and so place. It is also a very illegal way of doing things. It is based on political ideologies, religious faiths and ideological belief that creates for the loss. Terrorism is based on political ideologies, religious faith and ideological beliefs, and it creates a lot of loss for individuals as well as communities. Students, now let's discuss what is the meaning of ideological belief. Ideology means thoughts and ideas. For example, if there are a group of people who believe that this is the way the government should be run, this is the way we must follow a policy. There may be another group of people who may be like, no, we do not want this policy. They may end up threatening the government that listen to us or we will do so and so. They are called terrorists. Their acts are called terrorism. Let's look at it further. It creates psychological pain and influences the cultural aspects negatively. For example, have you all ever heard of a cricket match taking place in Kashmir? No, we haven't. Why? It's such a rich culture of our country, the culture of cricket. But even in the state of Kashmir, we don't play, we don't organize tournaments at a national level. Why? Because there is always the fear of terrorism. So it influences the cultural aspects as well very negatively. It's nothing but fulfilling narrow end by creating panic and violence. So bribery was giving money to fulfill one's narrow gain. Here it is creating violence and panic to fulfill one's gain. It just feeds the fear, it just makes people scared and enables them to fulfill their demands by making people scared. They are organized crimes perpetrated by organized group of people. So there are organized groups as well like Lashkar-e-Taiba and so on that carry out organized crime. They are called anti-national and anti-social acts. Bombing of the World Trade Center of United States of America, bomb attacks on Bali of Indonesia, bombing various cities of France, Britain and other countries are the reason for worries at international level. The terrorism is based on extreme religious sentiments, separatism, racialism or leftist ideals. So these are the places that have been bombed and it is very worrisome. What is terrorism based on? It is based on religious sentiments. For example, if there will be a leader who is not of their own religion, to get a leader of their own religion, they may end up doing an act of terrorism. It may be for the reason of power in the name of religion. Separatism, they may not want a united country. They may want to separate. They may carry out the act of terrorism. Racialism, you all know, difference on the basis of race, white and black, and leftist ideals. These are the various bases of terrorism. So a country funds and supports terrorism in another country. This also happens. A country may support terrorism in another country. It targets the civilians. Civilians means the innocent citizens of the country. They also target the military bases and they also target specific communities with specific languages, religion, race and skin color. Why? To create maximum terror or fear among them so that they feel unsafe. Like I told you all, it aims at creating more fear by killing people. What do they use? They use explosives, deadly gases to attain their goal. The killings done by terrorists are always pre-planned. They work with their own network of intelligence. Just like how to protect our country, we have our own intelligence network. Even the terrorists have their own network of intelligence or spies. They employ modern day gadgets as well and means of transportation. What are the areas they target? They target busy areas like airports, railway stations, markets and other areas. They seek to spread their goals along with a lot of violence. What are the tactics they use? Suicide bombing, kidnapping innocent people to attain their aims in India is one of the countries in the world that has been the target of terrorism for many years. Terrorism is and was there in states like Nagaland, Manipur, Kashmir, Punjab and other places. There was also an attack on Taj Hotel in Mumbai on November 26, 2007. The Parliament House was also attacked. The Parliament House had also been the target of terrorism. Terrorists have targeted places like Hyderabad, Chennai, Bengaluru, Bodh Gaya and other places to create panic. Our neighboring countries like Pakistan and China are accused of aiding or supporting these terrorists to go and cause terror in the country of India. India has always criticized terrorism, whether it be in our country or in any other country. Our central and state governments have taken utmost care to stop terrorism. They have strived to protect the property and life of all the people. They have even created elite forces to tackle these terrorists. India has been a peace-loving country and has undertaken many initiatives to stop terrorism. We can look at history that very little has been achieved by violent activities like terrorism. Do you all think India would have achieved independence if we would have chosen the route of violence? No, so very little has been achieved. Whereas when we look at non-violence, the path that Mahatma Gandhi ji took, we achieved independence. So much has been achieved by following the path of non-violence. So at the same time, history has been made by employing truth, non-violence and love. The killing of people like Gandhi ji, Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi has not erased their efforts to achieve progress through peace. Whereas the actions of Lord Buddha, Lord Mahavira, Lord Jesus, Prophet Muhammad Paigambar, Basava, Gandhiji, Nehru, Ambedkar, King Martin Luther, Nelson Mandela and others have given a new light, new path and new life to people all over the world. Peace and love are always greater than violence and hate.